Thank you for joining this episode of EXP Reviews, my Irononites. For the first time in our channel, we will be discussing a Sonic the Hedgehog game, and will be reviewing Sonic Forces, that has been given some debate in regarding to its quality. Sonic Forces is one of the new 3D mainline Sonic games released in the past several years that captures another story of Dr. Eggman, or Dr. Robotnik, trying to take over the world. With Sonic Colors Ultimate coming up as a remake of the title on the Wii, plus the newest entry in the mainline Sonic Rangers, a good look back at the latest entry will hopefully set expectations on improvements we hope and want to see. This is the first Sonic game to feature character creation for the story to allow players to put their creativity into play with their favorite universe. Is that extra feature worthy enough to find the value in the entry to the Sonic franchise? We can definitely discuss this now as we speak. Sonic Forces starts off with the story of Dr. Eggman being able to successfully defeat Sonic the Hedgehog and his allies, was able to take over Green Hill and the rest of the world in the Sonic universe. What I will admit is this: I have not played Colors on the Wii, nor have I played 2006 and Generations, so I cannot compare the stories, but this experience of Forces has me to believe that Eggman finally succeeded on world domination, at least at this point in time, for once. The story then goes off 6 months later as the Sonic team plans a fight back. During that time, another character walks in, which would be your custom character for the story to help save the crew from Eggman's reign and his new weapon and antagonist of the game named Infinite. With Character Creator, you get option to have your avatar play in different styles from the animal species of your choice and the weapon of choice to use as well, which is not an unusual concept to have weapons in the Sonic games. Other details in Character Creator are cosmetic, and they can be unlocked through playing the game. For a game that has introduced the feature for the very first time, the limitations in customization is expected, and it's very reliant on quantity more so than quality. While it is not necessarily a bad trait, it does show that the time spent on this was not as it was hyped to be. Thankfully, the gameplay retains a lot of 3D Sonic and classic 2D Sonic elements. Outside of your custom character to play as through the story mode, you get to play as both Sonic and Classic Sonic, as you would in Sonic Generations. Both offer obvious differences. What I find scary is that surprisingly well performance on the Nintendo Switch, despite the debate on whether 30 frame rates per second or 60 frame rates per second is truly needed. The fast pacing amongst all three characters will definitely take your mind off the frame rate argument, and witnessing very little to no drops in frame rates is icing on the local grocery store sugar cookies. If there were any sprinkles, it would be the graphics with a great detail both in-game and with CGI cutscenes.
With this invention, I can expand the Eggman Empire across the globe and conquer the world! The business this time!
But this leaves the batter, and to put it accurately, it is sweet, but crumbly and dry. While 3D Sonic has some 2D-like segments in some stages, you play the usual 3D Sonic formula seen in older titles like Sonic Unleashed. As someone who is a much bigger fan of the Sonic Adventures era when it comes to the franchise and the 3D plane, it definitely feels as if Sonic games ever since Unleashed have been excessively downgraded in content and overall effort to put in. The truth be told, I was able to get Forces just for the sake of playing a Sonic game after some time, so I truthfully did not bother getting another Sonic title ever since Unleashed. I have Generations, but I haven't played it yet. I never had an opportunity to get Colors, and you'll definitely see me dead hang naked upside down in a bachelor party gone wrong before I would touch any of the Sonic Boom titles.
How are you not dead?
I have no idea!
Outside of 3D Sonic gameplay, you have Classic Sonic, who plays in the traditional 2D classics in the 90s that I will absolutely say is by far my favorite segments in Sonic Forces. Almost everything you experience gameplay-wise in the 2D Sonic titles for the Genesis is just about present, with the exception of Tails and Knuckles, which, funny enough, Classic Sonic teamed with Tails a couple times in the story. Most of the time, I do not show an unapologetic praise in nostalgia or any sort of nostalgic superiority. This game may be one of the very few exceptions. As much as I love the 3D Sonic gameplay, because it is definitely fast-paced and fitting for the character in the franchise, the system sometimes feels broken. Some jump attack segments to move forward can sometimes be unresponsive when trying to go to a certain direction, despite being auto-locked onto the targets. Another issue is that it's also very illogical. Take the boss fight with Zavik, for example. After a few attacks and another from him to be stunned, you can jump all you want and you can't auto-lock or get a proper hit. It is only way later when I realized you need to stay on the ground for Zavik to land and hit the ground for Sonic to bounce up automatically, and then get a hit on Zavik. This mechanism has no merit or any sort of sense. How are you supposed to know this? The levels also appear to be very linear in comparison to what I've played in the past, especially Heroes in the Avengers titles. A big complaint I hear from others is that the 3D Sonic levels could probably be beaten without pressing buttons, just dash and go from there. I could say that it may be an over-exaggeration as you have these boss fights and enemy obstacles. Theoretically speaking, however, the speed booster is very overpowered to a point you may as well run through anyone as you fill it up every so often in these levels. Playing as your custom character isn't too different from the 3D Sonic's gameplay. You do have a gun weapon that is used in a generic shoot-'em-up style when around some enemies, but they do have certain abilities you can use when pressing X on your Switch controller, plus a grappling hook that will get you to places as need be. As both play similarly, there are a few tag team levels between 3D Sonic and your custom character, but it's just the same gameplay, but you're now more overpowered. What you command, both characters act out equivalently. I have mentioned earlier that the content is lacking, as the story would take about 4 hours to complete, with very little to no other replay value that could be done. There is no Chow Garden, unfortunately, which is a feature that is highly requested among Sonic fans for a good bit of time, but still has not made a return for almost 20 years. I'm sorry, I do lie about the content, but not really, because you do have Episode Shadow, which does give some plot points, including the origins of the villain Infinite and how he came to be. Gameplay wise, it's just about equivalent to 3D Sonic's gameplay. However, just as short as the main story is, this one is even shorter. It could be beat in less than 10 minutes, not counting the cutscenes, and there's only 3 levels to play through. I still have some optimism for the future of Sonic titles, as I still find that there is a lot of appreciation to give to Sega as a company, as they offer other franchises like Virtua Fighter and Yakuza. However, Sonic Forces should be priced as the one syllable in its title, $4. With just 4 characters to play as and 4 hours of gameplay that you will be putting in and doubtfully more than that much, it is safe to say that this is hardly considered a positive contribution. While that is not a terrible game, so to speak, it's obviously a rushed title, but without the glitches and the lazy graphics. As far as the future goes, it's something that we'll have to wait and see, but Sonic isn't known to wait a long time. However, if a longer wait means more variety, I will take it. But as far as Sonic Forces go, it is worth of a pickup at a very low price for big Sonic fans. But I just leave it as a budgeted birthday gift or keep it shelved at your local store if you're not going to go out of your way to pick it up.
Okay, let's finish this, Eggman.
It will be your finish, Sonic. Behold the power of my ultimate masterpiece!
I do appreciate your time, my Irononites, for this video review. If you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe and click the notification bell to be caught up. And until the next video arrives, please stay tuned for more details.